Can you walk us through the spin up all the way through the operation that was Panama?
Panama was interesting, and what's funny is we were talking about The Simpsons a couple minutes ago, and the lead up to Panama was totally obvious. We just missed it. We had been to Panama jungle training like a couple times. So like within 1 year, I had been to Panama jungle training twice, and another like like we were in Panama doing the jungle training all the time. First indicator, Then we were doing these exercises, and the culmination was at Eglin Air Force Base, where the entire regiment showed up, and we basically did a mock rehearsal for the invasion of Panama. But all of America sat down to watch the Simpsons Christmas special on that Sunday. And the telephone rings, and I pick it up, and it's the Alpha notification, which my squad leader saying, we're come in, and it's real. We're blowing out, So I'm shocked because we had just cleaned up. I don't think, my bags were packed to go home. So I go into work, and I drive in, and something's different, right? Like there's MPs everywhere. Everything's locked down. The phone booths are all taken apart and hanging, and then we walk in and we're like, what's going on? No one knew what was going on, but they're like, we don't know what's happening, but it's real, and we're jumping. Get your shit ready.
So even at that point, you had no idea that it was Panama?
No idea.
None.
Yeah. So what is interesting is the way I found out was CNN started saying the United States, the 82nd Airborne and the Ranger Regiment is preparing to invade Panama.
Wow.
So this was Sunday night when we came in, and then we jumped in early Wednesday morning, so Tuesday night. So we were there, Monday and Tuesday. So I don't remember when it was. I think it was sometime during Monday where it's on the news. So that's how I found out we were going to Panama, is I'm standing there watching a talking head say, and images of Pope Air Force Base where the 82nd Airborne is getting ready too, Yeah. So now we know we're going to Panama, and then the plans start to come down to what we were doing. And you're still not sure if this is really going to happen. We go to the airfield. It's pouring down rain. It's really cold. And they start issuing you your combat load. So now it's getting more and more real. And they had this setup where there were these different pallets, and they were organized by job description. So if you were a saw gunner, go to this pallet. If if you're this, if you're that, and all of the ammo and everything was in these sandbags. So, but now we're like, I think this is going to happen. Then we load up, we get on the birds, and now the bird's flying, and we're freezing, because we're soaking wet. And then what I distinctly remember was when we get close enough, we rig up in the air. When we get close enough to jump, they open the doors, and this warm Caribbean air comes in. So same thing. I'm literally shaking because I'm so cold. And again, this is something I do remember thinking of consciously. Is like, are you afraid? Like, are you shaking because you're? And it was like, no, it's just you know how it is when you're wet and cold.
Oh yeah.
As soon as that warm air hit, it was like, oh.
Yeah.
Here we are. Let's do this.
Do you remember what altitude you guys jumped from?
It was really low. I think people say about 500 feet.
Oh wow.
I remember the discussion of there was the how it goes, like the scuttlebutt is like, hey, you guys have the option of carrying your reserves or not. You're jumping so low they won't matter. And some guys were then leave it, and I remember being in the camp of like, it covers my balls. I mean, like it's just silk, right? But I'm like,
it's better than
it covers my balls. It makes me feel good, so I'll take it. And that really was what I do remember. Again, it's crazy how distinct the memories are. I remember jumping out of the airplane, and then you hear the jerk. You look to make sure your chute's open. I look around, I'm confused, and then I see tracers going everywhere, and I'm thinking, what color are our tracers again? You know what I mean? And I don't, and by the time I kind of orient myself and I realize, that's where I need to go, then I hit the ground like a sack of shit. So it felt like 5'8". I mean, again, someone could do the math. I don't know how long it takes to drop 500 feet, but I don't think I was in the air more than 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah. Wow. Once you guys landed, was it chaotic, or were you able to kind of piggyback off of the rehearsals and everybody? Was it well choreographed, or was it quite a bit different than what you guys thought it was going to be?
Both. It was again. You've been in combat. You know what I mean. It was this choreographed chaos, right? Like there was enough familiarity that I knew what was happening and I knew where to go and I knew what I needed to do. But there was all sorts of shit happening that we didn't practice for, Yeah. And so the first thing is get out of that chute, and you feel like everyone is there to, like there's, like everyone's there to kill you. Like you land and it's kind of quiet in your immediate area, and then there's all these little sporadic gunfights going on, and there's like trucks of PDF Defense Forces like coming out. I remember a flatbed truck with a bunch of PDF on the back of it, coming out, and a pickup truck. So they were like coming out to fight, and I hear a little gunfight over here in the woods, and I'm having to decide, do I go fight those guys? Do I go fight those guys? Like what should I be doing? And that's now, again, you fall back on, what's my task? Get to the assembly area. Yeah. So I got to the assembly area as quickly as I could. Luckily, one or two guys kind of converge as we're going through there. The running password was Bulldog. I said Bulldog every time my left foot hit the ground, because it's weird, it's a different smell, it's different sounds. But I knew enough where to go. I thought I was being slow, because I did go help out a guy out of his gear. He was calling for help. And so by the time I get to the assembly area, you know how it was. It was like a good ranger's the first to the assembly area. A good team leader has his team assembled first. I get to the assembly area, and I was happy to find out I wasn't late. Yeah. Like there were only a handful of guys there, and my orders were a fighting squad, a capable squad, and a gun team, and you launch. So that was different. Right, because now it's like, hey, maybe I only kind of knew you a little bit, but like, Mike, you're my saw gunner now. You know what I mean? And I don't remember having much of a squad other than my organic. I think most of the team that I moved out with was my squad. I have to think there were a couple guys intermixed in there, but I think we after our first foothold, we kind of reshuffled who guys were. But as soon as I had a gun team and enough firepower to go hit our foothold, we were off and running. Yeah.
Did you guys encounter any resistance between the original kind of rally point or assembly area and your first foothold?
Yeah. So this is another one of those very, very candid memories. Was we had a building that we were supposed to, that was the foothold building that we were supposed to secure, and between us and that foothold there was this little guard shack, and it was on the road. One of those very typical South American, Central American cement guard shacks, with the red and white things that go down. And there was a dude in there, and he was shooting at us. And like I can't quite make out but it's a handgun. You know what I mean? And it's the old, he's below the, I can't see him, I just can see his hand, and he's shooting at us. And I'm thinking, dude, I got a squad of Rangers here. Yeah. Like,
what are you doing?
Do you not know how this ends? Like, just put your hands up and move out. I got a M60 machine gun, before the 240. I've got two 203 gunners, two saw gunners, you know what I mean? Yeah. And a bunch of Rangers that are like unleashed for war for the first time, Yeah. And I felt sorry for this guy. And I was like, dude, but he stuck with it. So it was like, okay, you're going to have to go.